you go hiking, just take, one or two friends with you, you know what I mean? And then worst case scenario, you just trip one of them while you're running away, and you're pretty much guaranteed survival at that point. Well, that's why I take the kids, because I know I can outrun them. Yeah, but you have to take the kids, man. Yeah, take one of your friends. That's good. Anyway, look, guys. Thanks, Jay. KSCO Santa Cruz, the Carpetbagger up next, flight 1080.
Hey, everyone. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. President Trump says Robert Mueller's
I'm waiting to go. Waiting to go live here on the radio in California. KSCO flight 1080. I have it posted. I have it posted on my Facebook. Oh, I don't have a radio voice. Yeah, the Barney from the Toilet Seat Museum has passed away at 98. It was a very, God, that trip to Texas with Adam was one of my favorite trips of all time. Are these all done, or there's some more I have to do, Christy?
That should be everything.
All right, cool, thank you. Sorry, I'm very disorganized, very distracted.
Sorry.
Federal Trade Commission Chairman Joe Simon says regulators have reached a settlement with Facebook over privacy violations. The settlement imposes a record-breaking $5 billion penalty, includes new strict measures to change the way...
Yes, Santa Cruz, California. If you're in Santa Cruz, you can actually listen to me on an actual radio. That's pretty cool. Kind of actually been to Santa Cruz.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be playing the radio or not.
10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry.
Well,
timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's
oh yeah,
going to
it'll cause a reverb.
when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare,
So when I come on the radio, I'm gonna have to put that phone. Actually, do you have headphones?
And assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends.
I should have been more prepared, but I was running behind and I had to eat barbecue real quick. I ate about 3 pounds of barbecue in about 5 minutes. I'm probably gonna get violently sick during this radio interview. My lovely wife here is gonna provide me with some headphones.
Groups that have experienced strained relations are joining forces against Israel. The latest from the media lines, Charles B. Blazier. A Hamas delegation to
What?
Iran is pursuing a joint defense alliance.
You do. You gotta be married to me. That's payment.
Against Israel. Hamas, a Sunni terror organization, has recently worked closely with Shia Iran and its main allies, Hezbollah in Lebanon and Bashar al-Assad in Syria, in order to strengthen.
I was on this radio show about a year ago, and they invited to have me back. It's more not like I don't think it's my interview, but more just like a guest. I think. I don't know. I'm just gonna be on the show. We'll see what happens. That's the best when you don't know what's gonna happen, right? This has a microphone on it, right? We'll find out. How are we doing in here? So yeah, if you want to listen along, you can go over to the Facebook page. There's the link. I don't know what I'll talk about. And I'll talk with you guys during the commercials. What day will I be at the Mothman Festival? September 20th and 21st. My wife, Christy, will be with me. I don't know if she wants to be on camera right now. Do you want to be on camera right now? She just pointed at her hair. I don't know what that means.
I look like a man.
Oh. Christy, could you get me a bottle of water?
Is that your own feelings?
They're doing their traffic report right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. No talking about politics. Oh, you got me two? Thank you. Actually, just bring them both over here if you don't mind. Unless one's for you. I like room temperature water. Who likes room temperature water? A little cooler than room temperature water. Maybe like water that's been sitting in an air-conditioned room. Not water that's been sitting in a hot car. That's bad. Ugh. Do you like hot car water, Christy?
Nope.
I got the news. Oh yeah, don't leave your kids in a hot car. That's not good. I've not seen the Casa Bonita with Cartman. I guess I need to watch that. Don't really like South Park. To be 100% honest. Hey Melissa. Hey Megan. Megan. Thank you, Retro B. I try to work hard. I try not to be too much of a schlub. Something you'd like to share with the class, Christy? I don't really watch TV. Yes, I have 9 cats. Did not use the cat claw covers because apparently they're really hard to get on. Like you have to trim the cat's nails to the right side, put glue on the cat's nails, and then apply them. Yeah, anyone that wants to call the station is welcome. My DJ voice. I don't have a DJ voice, Jeff. So I guess when I go live, I'm gonna put the headphones in, and I'll have to talk. I can't interact with the chat because I'll be on the radio. But if you guys want to help me, like if someone new comes in and doesn't know what's going on, if you guys will help explain that. I have a video from the NASCAR Hall of Fame. What's the number to call? I think you'll have to listen to the link I put on my Facebook page. Well, what's going on is I'm going to be on the radio here in a few minutes. Ick, how are you doing? Ick the Troll King in the house. Hello? Hey! Yes, that is correct. Oh boy. Good luck with that. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Oh, okay. Well, what kind of scary places are you referring to? Because I think there's a difference. There's spooky places like abandoned houses, and then there is haunted houses, haunted attractions, full of jump scares and compressed air and whatnot. And yeah, I'm absolutely terrified of haunted houses, genuinely. But I enjoy them too at the same time. I mean, I've always said before. Actually for the longest time I wouldn't go in them because they scared me. But I wanted to see what was in there. I wanted to see the theming. I wanted to see the cool spooky theming inside. So I finally willed up the will to go in, and I'm no less scared than I ever was, but I try to enjoy the experience on some level, and people seem to enjoy watching me be scared. So yeah, it was. Y- the famous one is Elmer McCrudy, who was a Wild West outlaw who they stole his dead body from a funeral home and put it on in a traveling sideshow for years, and eventually he wound up as a prop out in, oh gosh, I'm trying to think what boardwalk it is. I'm trying to think if it was the boardwalk where you guys are, or somewhere in California. I thought it was a California. Yeah, 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 yeah. Santa Cruz. Oh, don't give that out. Yes. Yeah, it's I think I think it opened in the 1970s, but I mean it's a Mexican restaurant, and it is, I don't know, zany, I guess would be a good word. Um Part of it, you get your Mexican food, you sit down, and there's these cliff divers jumping off of this rock structure in the middle of the restaurant, and they do little plays. They have pirates and cowboys, and there's a show where a gorilla runs around the restaurant. They have like little puppet shows in between acts, and they have like a cave, almost like a little haunted house cave in the restaurant. It's really something else. It's really just a kooky, zany restaurant. Yeah, and actually in the video, I'm going around in the restaurant, and I'm like uncovering, like, there's like hidden dining rooms, like there, like, you go down below the main dining room, which is huge, and there's like a dining room built to look like an old mine. There's like one that's like a fancy ballroom. It's really just really weird, just like a really odd feeling. Yeah, yeah. I was telling people to go to. I put a link on my Facebook if someone wants to go over to my Facebook and click on that to listen in. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes, I got these. I got these at the Salvation Army. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think it's Thomas Dambo, actually, and he's made a series of these, and not just in America, across the world, a series of these giant trolls made out of wood. And recently he had put one up. He put one up in eastern Tennessee on top of a mountain. I had actually, with some help of some friends, I was able to track down where it was at and was able to fly my drone up there and locate it. But yeah, it's really cool stuff. Yeah, definitely look, if you haven't heard of him, definitely look up his work. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, Leo the Enlightened was the one that was on top of the mountain in East Tennessee. I personally, I say vlog. I think, I mean, I think that that may actually be an antiquated pronunciation you're using. I think maybe at one point that was more common to say it that way. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey Elijah, how are you? The first ever place. Um, I think the first official video was. It's not that spectacular, I guess. It's it was a marker for the last shot fired in the Civil War, which is more just kind of like a test of the idea of how to film my channel. The first real like official video I did was at the world's largest Ten Commandments in Murphy, North Carolina. Thank you, Elijah. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, that'd be safe in a way. Yeah, a possum's a fascinating animal because it's really an anomaly of a creature. It's the very earliest mammals on record were possum, very close relatives of the possum. However, the possum is the only animal besides man that has an opposable thumb. Yeah, not much. No, they really have the possum really has no survival skills whatsoever, despite being the only animal gifted with an opposable thumb. They're slow, they're loud, and their only defense mechanism is to either play dead or have so many babies that you can't kill all of them. Hey Ryan, yeah, I'm familiar with Ryan. He's a frequent visitor to my live streams. Yeah. Yeah, I heard you mentioned that. Is any chance of you getting me in a parade float with Hulk Hogan? Yeah, I've basically took full advantage of whatever popularity I've got on YouTube and tried to segue it into living out a childhood dream in professional wrestling. In the one match that I've had. Let me. I'm trying to think. Actually, matches I've been in. I've been in officially 5 matches. I think. I've not done a lot of offensive maneuvers. I did use a variation of the Stone Cold Stunner in one of my matches. So we'll just say that's my finish. I've never actually finished anyone with a move, so I don't know if I can call anything my finisher. Something like that. It's a very effective strategy in professional wrestling. Appreciate it, Ryan. In the United States, yes. Yeah, I think there's 18 in the United States. I have accomplished my goal of seeing all of them. And I love Ripley's. I love the Ripley's Corporation. I think a lot of people would assume that they're all the same. There is some carryover between them all, but I think every single one has individuality to it that's worth checking out. Yeah, I went back to that very same. That's a Louis Tussauds Wax Museum in Niagara Falls, Canada, and I went back and I think it's a toss up. Their Doctor Phil is really scary. That's in the same, and that's very the same one. You can go to the Louis Tussauds Wax Museum in Niagara Falls, Canada. You can go there and see both the Jay Leno and Dr. Phil, and decide for yourself which one is the worst wax figure. I think that well, there's actually is behind the scene politics with wax figures. A lot of them are created with money. Like if a new movie's coming out, sometimes a movie studio will shell out some money to get a wax figure made. And if you notice, is it who's the James Bond? It's uh, Daniel Craig. Okay, if you go see in most wax museums, you go see the Daniel Craig figure. He's not dressed as James Bond. He is dressed as his character from a forgotten movie known as Aliens versus Cowboys. Yeah, it's because the yes, yeah, it's because the whatever movie studio produced that movie, shelled out the money to have him in the wax museums dressed like that, and whoever made the James Bond movies obviously didn't care what his wax figure looks like. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. It's an absolute it's a staple of any place that calls themselves an oddity shop or an oddities museum will have the fur bearing trout, which is essentially its exact. It Yeah, it's a fish with hair. That's basically it. I feel your pain. Oh yeah, I feel it. I feel it. Yes. Yes. Weirdest place. Yeah. Oh, I love. Yeah, they'll definitely love the cryptozoology style museums. There's and actually, speaking of which, there's a Mothman Museum in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Every year they do have a Mothman Festival, and I'm very happy because this year I am September 20th and 21st. I'm actually going to be an official guest of the Mothman Festival. Of Mothman, they have a statue of Mothman on Main Street. No kidding. All right, appreciate it. Okay, I think I'm on hold. Do I still have people in the live stream? What'd you say?
Your keys.
I don't know where my keys are. Oh, they're in my pocket. Do you need them? So yeah, to update anyone who's confused on what's going on, I'm doing a radio show, KSCO 1020, flight 1020 in Santa Cruz, California. Jeff, you're gonna call in and ask what my favorite song is from Duran Duran's third album? Oh man, I didn't even know they had more than one album. I didn't even know they had an album. I'm talking to you guys right now. Oh yeah, very very excited about the Mothman Festival. That's the highlight of my life after the birth of Anna and adopting my son James and marrying my wife. When am I coming back to Wisconsin? I'd like to get back to Wisconsin. That's I'm actually considering soon going back to the streets of the W. How many miles a year do I travel? Do you know that, Christy? How many miles I put on the car in a year?
About 60.
About 60 miles.
1,000.
Oh, 1,000. I'm sorry. 60,000 miles a year. Start a podcast. Would anyone listen to a podcast if I started it? I'm not the honorary guest. I will be an official guest. As will be Dan Bell. My boy. Yes, thank you for calling in, Ryan. I appreciate it. Don't stay in any dirty hotel rooms with Dan Bell. Oh, it'd be an honor to stay in a dirty hotel room with Dan Bell. What? You wouldn't want to sit in a clean one. That would be lame. Thought I found a pen, but I guess I didn't. Oh, here it is. Here is a pen. My wife is over here sending text messages and just snickering constantly like a freaking third grader with a secret. Why don't you, Tim, and Adam go on Route 66? Well, I already went on Route 66 with Adam. I don't know if Tim, it's not really Tim's thing, I don't think. And Tim's probably not going to be doing any huge road trips in the near future. She's got a baby on the way. It's the craziest experience me and John have been through. John's had crazy stuff when I'm not around. I think he's had more crazy encounters than I have. Someone's trying to sell me the website petbagger.com. I'm actually, believe it or not, I'm at home in the North Carolina mountains. Actually, this is I think last night was the third time I've slept in my own bed in since July 3rd. I've been on the road that much. I just how it works is I get a fraction of the ad revenue from the videos. Also, I have a what's called a Patreon page. Like, and I have subscriber, people that donate a monthly sum of money, and to show gratitude for that, I send out postcards to those people, and I sell T-shirts as well. Yeah, I mean, I do get a lot of comments from people that that they can't travel either for health reasons, financial reasons, or just very very various reasons, and I think they enjoy being able to kind of come along with me and see the world. Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think it's actually gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, it's almost become self parody at this point where, places, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We've got, Elvis's wart or whatever. A Bigfoot's big in California. Yeah, Hodag from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, and the Hodag is it is this big green creature with horns, and the Hodag, in all honesty, falls more into the tall tale world than actual cryptozoology because when it comes down to it, I think no one actually believes the Hodag is a real thing, but they talk about it as if it is. No, the Bigfoot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I think a lot of like the jackal stuff like the jackalope is basically created by bored taxidermists that have extra stuff laying around. And I don't know if have you heard of the woolly booger or the asquatch as it's also known is did we? Yes. Yeah, yeah. He choked it by jamming his fist down its throat. Yeah, he created basically. He made the kind of the idea of actually having like a form, like a taxidermy. When you peel the skin off, there's like a form inside. Prior to him, they were just basically stuffing animals like big bags of skin. Yeah, basically. Yeah, they'll have like a pre-made form, and then they can even customize the form. But then they put the skin over that kind of holds the shape and preserves the integrity of the animal. When before it was you're talking about just just literally a dead animal stuffed with hay. Well, now I'm curious. I don't. I've actually wondered about as far as human taxidermy goes. I don't. I've never heard of a human being taxidermied in the traditional sense of how an animal's preserved. I've seen dead bodies on display. Usually they're mummified to some degree. And actually, oh my gosh, what is the name of it? There is a club in Burbank, California that has a dead clown in it, like a legit dead clown. Yeah, let me. He's in a bar. It's like a bar that has a bunch of oddities in it. Yeah, there's a he's he's like a 17th century French clown. Yeah, it's a plastinization. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a plastinization, I believe it's called. Yeah, and there was it's pretty. I think it's there's two different traveling exhibits of that, and they're fairly controversial. I think there's suspicion that they use dead Chinese executed Chinese prisoners to to make their okay, okay, yeah, yeah. One of them there's more than one. but one of them caught flack because about where were they getting their bodies from. Probably my personal favorite is Mick Foley. If you're familiar with him, I did do a show. It was really cool. I got to do a show where the main event was Jerry the King Lawler. So that was I was kind of starstruck there. Yeah. Oh yes, very much so. I'm also a huge fan of Jake Roberts too. I think he's one of the best. He's really good at when everyone else was doing like screaming, yelling interviews, he was the one that was doing like quiet, like calculated, creepy promos. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think. As far as well, are you talking about Jake the Alligator Man, and oh, where is he? The Washington, Long Beach, Washington. No, he's a half man, half alligator that's been mummified. Oh yeah, that's Eric Sprouse, the Lizard Man. I've never met him. I use I'm pretty basic on the camera equipment I have two cameras I use. They're both around the $1,000 range, so nothing too extravagant. I have a GoPro and a drone that I use for specific situations, but other than that, I travel pretty lightly. Uh, just two, just two, I think. Well, two. I've lost two that I've not been able to get back. But I've crashed a lot of drones. No, yeah. When you purchase a drone, I mean, you're gonna they're not cheap, but you have to tell yourself when you get that drone, you got to look down at it and tell yourself someday I'm gonna set this up in the air and it's not gonna come back to me. It's inevitable. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've not ever heard of that. To be honest. Now that's actually a movie I have seen. Believe it or not. That's fun. It's fun. Morty, how are you doing? I'm doing good. It's still the supreme light heavyweight champion. Yeah, yeah. He needs to get over it. I think. We all lose things that are important to us. I took her to Chicago. I took her to the top of the Sears Tower to to look over Chicago. To a nice romantic evening, just me and a championship belt. Take your time. Take your time. I'm in no rush. I'm happy being champion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to rush. I don't want to rush into like doing another match. That would cheapen the prestige of the championship. Yeah, I still haven't quite figured out what that was. I I heard no, 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 no. Yeah, I took I heard there was going to be a all female luchador show. Luchador is of course a Mexican wrestler. And I went there's an oddities bar that is in Asheville, North Carolina. It's a pretty cool bar called the Auditorium. And I went there expecting wrestling, and what you see in that video is what I brought my wife and daughter to watch. I think they did. I think they did. I mean, it was a unique experience. That's what life's about. Seeing new things. Yeah, I don't know. I've never. Most of the sanctioned pro wrestling events I've been to don't take place in the kiddie pool in front of a bar. But I guess it's their own art form, and we can respect it for that for what it is. Yeah, yes. Well, yeah, we can work out the details about that. I was more of a, I would say more of a mutual decision. I wouldn't say that Morty's better. I think we decided that I was the better wrestler. Morty was the brain behind wrestling. So combining those two things together would make us unstoppable. Well, yeah. There's actually an interesting story behind that. All right, I appreciate it, Morty. So yeah, I got shaved off in the match. So I saved each one in a little bag. I donated one to a friend of mine who owns a oddities museum, and then the other one I had in my suitcase. And I sort of got arrested at the Canadian border for having a taser in my car, and so I was sitting in a border detention cell on the Canadian border and had to explain why I had a bag of hair in my suitcase. No, I did not have any taxidermy in my suitcase. Yeah, that would have that. Yeah, yeah. I definitely don't. Yeah, bag of hair is bad enough. I don't think having a bunch of dead animals in the car would have been good for my case. But they did let me into Canada. Yeah, I had to sit. Yeah, I had to sit in a Canadian jail and explain that to a Canadian police officer. Three times. And yes, I am allowed in Canada. If anyone was wondering. Yeah, I mean for being detained. I mean, they were very polite. They went through all my stuff, and like I had all my suitcases just piled up in the back in a big lump. And they're all after they had went through all my private property. I went back out to my car, and it was all very nicely organized, nicer than I left it. Yes. just just don't bring a taser. Uh, what's your YouTube channel? Human Genius. Are you a genius? Okay. Oh, okay. So it's like so some hardcore content there on the. I think I just spent a lot of time just making videos for myself, essentially. Just in the first year that I did videos, end of the year I had a year's worth of work. I had 500 subscribers to show for it, and just kept. And then the year after that, I had 10,000. So it eventually kicked into higher gear. It just took some patience. And not I think it's discouraging. It's discouraging to put your time, your effort, your soul into something, and have no one really care about it. But people appreciate it if you don't give up, if you keep going forward with it. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a thing. I mean, when the name of your video is something that people might put directly into a search bar, that'll help. That'll help get some traction. Yeah. I think there's sometimes like what something you never know. Like one video will pick up some steam, and for me it was a video I did of a Funtown Mountain. It was a theme park. This gentleman, Will Russell, purchased it, and he had I guess it's okay to say, I think he's pretty honest about it. He had a complete mental breakdown in the middle of opening this theme park, and I got a chance to tour it afterwards when it was abandoned, and kind of see the um, the remnants of his mental breakdown, and that still to this day is my most viewed video of all time. I think they lost me. think I'll stand by. Seems like I'm off the air. All right, they seem to have gone silent. I don't know if they're having technical difficulties. I think I'll just wait here and see if they get me back. In the meantime, how's everyone in the chat doing? Oh, and I think I saw a super chat. I think that was Jeff Kincannon. I appreciate the super chat. Yes, Morty. Now, as me and Morty, we become friendly now, and you will have to stay tuned. It'll all be revealed coming up. Hey, Christy, would you go over and see what's going on at the radio station?
I don't know where it is.
I posted a link on my Facebook, on the Carpetbagger Facebook.
I'm gonna need your charger that you stole from me.
Oh, I didn't steal a charger. What? Oh, is the stream blocking up too? Is anyone getting the radio? Oh, they're doing traffic. Okay, maybe they'll bring me back on after traffic. Yeah, California traffic's a bunch of garbage. I do have this. Jane is upstairs in the bedroom. This is the. I was given this belt too. This is the Mutton Chop Championship. I guess technically this should be Morty's, but since me and Morty are friends now, I think I am now again the Mutton Chop Champion. So we'll just put this here on my shoulder. Thanks, Jeff. Should do a calendar with topless pictures of me at roadside attractions. No, my wife wouldn't like that.
What? Is this the right one?
Yeah, that's it. Are you going upstairs anytime, or are you going to stay down here with me?
What do you want?
Nothing. He's going to ask for something ridiculous.
What?
Just if you go upstairs and you come down, can you bring Jane down here?
Todd Stussy, the field services manager for the Santa Cruz County Animal Shelter, told KSCO that animals can have a tough time
So let's see what's doing in the chat here. I want me to think about the podcast. I thought about doing a podcast, for Patreon, for Patreon supporters. Of course, I'd need some help. I need a co-host, and Christy doesn't want to do it. So,
I never said I wouldn't do it.
hey Connie, how are you doing? Hope today is going okay.
You wouldn't.
Would you do a podcast with me?
Yeah, but then when I got better at it than you, you'd be really upset.
How would you get better at it than me?
I don't know. Just kidding. I don't even know what I would do a podcast about.
I would think about doing a podcast for the Patreon supporters. Maybe do some, like, just, talk about travel, really.
I don't get to travel. Maybe you should ask Gail.
Gail doesn't travel.
But she has a good accent, so it works.
I did want to start a podcast with Gail. My concept was the podcast could be called Your Country is Stupid. John will occasionally co-host. You could be on every one, John. I can't pay you, though, so that's an issue. If that's an issue, let me know now if you're going to be a prima donna about it.
Me and Gail are going to do a podcast just about advice.
Because you and Gail are really good at giving advice?
Yeah.
What are you going to call it?
I don't know. Maybe like the Queen and the Eagle or something.
The Queen and the Eagle?
Yeah.
Are you the Queen or the Eagle?
The Eagle, of course.
Why?
Because America!
If she's the Duchess of Pudding, what are you?
I don't know.
Talking to Christy over here, she doesn't want to be on camera because
Hair.
something about her hair. She's got a bunch of turds in it.
Have lice.
Christy has
That's not
lice, and she,
Currently wearing a mayonnaise cap.
she's got bugs in her hair and spiders. Are spiders considered bugs?
This is the longest commercial.
Really?
Yeah, what is going on?
I am the champion.
I want to go to El Rancho Shopping Center for Chinese food.
El Rancho Center?
Yeah, it sounds good.
I don't think I've been to El Rancho Center. Nadia says, "Hi Christy, I survived Mueller on TV. I didn't kill myself." So spiders are bugs, but
What
not
did
insects?
she say? She was on TV?
No, she said, "I survived Mueller on TV. I didn't kill myself."
God, that's amazing, Nadia. I don't know how you did it. I don't watch TV.
Yes, this isn't Jane. I asked my wife to please get Jane. I think my wife is jealous. Hey! I hope so. Need more. Not personally, no. I'm. Yeah, really, yeah, I'm yeah, I do ride roller coasters. They are terrifying. I don't know if anyone else saw that freaking video from where was that, Indonesia, where the freaking carnival ride snapped. Oh, that's the. I don't know if it's hard. It's one of those things where people sit in a circle and they're like, there's like a pole, and the people are like swung high into the air, and at one point the pole just snaps, and the freaking circle of people like crashes into the frame. It's absolutely horrifying. People died. Ugh.
Fist fight upstairs.
Mostly at like carnivals. Yeah, carnival rides are a little different. You know, you go to theme park, the ride's been there. It's been established. When you know you go to a carnival, you're riding a ride that was put together this morning by someone who may or may not be on crystal meth. So you know you're rolling the dice a little bit. Oh, yeah, speaking of the carnivals, I've been through haunted houses at carnivals that literally had nothing in them. Like you get in a little car and it drives you through the dark. There's no noises. There's no scaries. You're just riding a car in the dark, and then you come out the other end, and you're like, wait a minute. I guess, yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Yes. What? That's freaking awesome.
I don't think he heard. He doesn't hear anything. Look at him. He's laying in a
Oh wow.
bucket of film.
He's enjoying himself. He's man cave.
Yeah. That's amazing. Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. Love the art cards. Love Bones in general. I'm here, Jeff. How are you doing? Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think with the two of us together, I think we could put the wrestling world on notice. I appreciate it, Jeff. No, I got a really cool singlet that has my own face on it, my own giant face that I had custom made. My big smiley face with the pith helmet on. Yeah, yeah, I got all the gear and everything. And after my first match, my friend John was back there in the locker room with me, and I was taking off my gear, and I was like, I'm like, I think something's wrong with me. There's all this dead skin coming off. And John looked at me and he said, "Have you honestly never done anything athletic in your whole life?" And I thought to myself, and turns out that was the first athletic thing I ever did in my whole life. Yeah. Yeah. It's a long, convoluted story, but he is the one that beat me in the mutton chop match. But we have now become aligned in. Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah. We're a couple of big dudes eating pancakes. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I'm not going to answer that question, but I certainly you wouldn't want to you wouldn't want to be posing in any sort of girly magazines with the belt or anything like that. That could get you in trouble with the promotion. Shawn Michaels actually did that. Yeah, I don't think I should answer that question. I think they could be damaging for my image. Yeah, I mean, people win the belt. They give it a big kiss. You don't want to leave any surprise. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. It is leather and some metal of some sort. I haven't taken it to the jeweler. I haven't taken it to the jeweler yet to get appraised or anything like that. But it is. It is the supreme wrestling. Go ahead. Well, yeah, I guess we'll leave that to Morty to figure out when I'll have to be back in Indiana to defend this belt. Yeah, it's a wrestling. I guess you'd call it a wrestling federation or a wrestling group. It's called Supreme Wrestling. It runs out of Madison, Indiana, and they do some other shows around the Southern Indiana area. Yeah, they have Facebook presence. They have a YouTube page. I think just typing in Supreme Wrestling, into Google machine will make it come up. Yeah, the 72 ounce steak. Did I pass it? Yes, I ate it. I ate the steak, and then, yes, indeed, I did pass it. I did not vomit any of it up. It all went through the plumbing, and yeah, and I think that steak will be my legacy. It's when you type it, at least at one point when you typed in the Carpetbagger in Google, you know the little suggestions that come up, and it was like the Carpetbagger, and the first thing was like steak. So I'm like, this is my legacy. I ate a big steak. Oh my gosh. That's the hardest part. The hardest part of the whole because it's a steak meal. So you got your 72-ounce steak, you got a baked potato, a salad, and 3 fried shrimps and a roll. And the hardest part was the roll and the 3 shrimp. Yes. Here we go. Yes. Did I hold it upside down? Let me see if I... No, this is an American belt. Oh, that is upside down. Okay, sorry. See, everything's in the live stream, and I'm seeing what I'm seeing is like a mirror image. So there we go. Well, yeah. If you go onto my channel and you watch the video where I was preparing, I weighed myself in my bathroom, completely legit calibrated, authentic scale, and I weighed in at 130 pounds, so I was able to make weight. No, it's completely legitimate. 5'10". Yeah, no, trust me. You know, because if I weighed more than that, I wouldn't be eligible to hold this title. So, I mean, here's the proof right here. Well, yeah, I would definitely. There is the this is there are several championships in Supreme Wrestling. There is the junior heavyweight, which I'm holding, the tag team championship. Maybe go after that with Morty at some point. Maybe and then maybe work our way up to becoming the Supreme Champion. You know, the top champion of the league. Yes. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have a built-in. I have a built-in. I just built-in name. Just use the Carpetbagger. All right. Uh, I don't know the mechanics. I'm unclear on why he's going to sleep. Oh, Ah, okay. Yeah, that'd work. Oh goodness. I did. I'm trying to think what went up this morning. Oh, oh, Casa Bonita. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I did a video. Did a video on the Denver airport a couple days ago. The whole Illuminati conspiracy. Well, I guess the working theory is that the Denver airport is the official home base of the Illuminati. Apparently, there is a series of documented tunnels that were in the blueprints of the airport and are not open to the public and are not in any known usage. The time capsule that was dedicated the day of the airport's opening actually is inscribed with the New World Airport Commission, which is actually a organization that does not exist. So that's led to some suspicion. And yeah, actually some of the artwork had been removed when I was there because they're remodeling. But there's literally a giant mural of a Nazi when you land in said airport. And I'm not saying like, oh, there's a guy that kind of looks like a Nazi. It's like, no, this is like a giant gas mask wearing SS soldier, like clear as day. I don't know. I don't know. You would, yeah, and the airport's. Yes, yes. Okay, that this actually is creepy. And my friend Jeff Block, who does my intros for me, he pointed this out to me after I visited, and what it is in the movie. Was it? I'm blanking on the movie because I'm an idiot. Close Counters of the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. In the movie, I guess the guy discovers these coordinates, and in the movie, those are the coordinates for like the Devil's Tower, where the alien are landing. However, the coordinates that they use in the movie are not accurate. Those are not the coordinates for the Devil's Tower. You know, the filmmakers just threw in some random numbers or whatever. And, but if you go to those coordinates now, back when the movie was made, it was just a empty field. But now those coordinates are the coordinates for the Denver airport. Yeah. All right, I think we're on break again. Christy, why are you changing the garbage can? Is that why there's all those flies in here? What's wrong?
Like it's a foreign concept that trash has to be changed.
What's in that box? What's that? Oh, a battery. I've never seen that movie. I need to watch it. Now it's one of Jeff's favorites. Oh, sorry. Hope no one out there can read lips. Christy, when we renew our vows, I want to be wearing this.
No, you're not. What's in your stamp bag?
Oh, these are antique stamps now. They don't make these anymore. These are the seashell postcard stamps. So when I started doing it, there were seabirds, and then they changed to seashells, and now it's fish. So I guess postcards always have to be related to the sea somehow.
It's a vacation concept.
I've never been on a vacation. Oh! What's your favorite beach, Christy?
Anna Maria Island.
Anna Maria Island. That is a good beach.
That's where we should do our vow renewal.
I thought we were doing it on a cruise.
We'll just do one for show and one for real.
We'll renew our vows once a month, I think.
Wait, do people send gifts?
Yes.
No, they don't. It's not that kind of thing. Stamps.
My wife is just throwing things at me.
Put them in the stamp bag.
She likes... There's no stamp bag.
Right, I see that right bag.
Is this the stamp bag? I bought way too many foreign stamps. Well, I mean, not way too many.
It's okay, I'll send Gail a whole bunch of letters.
I don't need to send Gail letters. Just text her. Yeah, my pants are falling down. That's why I needed to win this championship belt. Ever since I dropped down to 130.
I feel like me and my mother bought this in Soho many years ago.
What's Soho? New York?
It's in New York, south of Houston.
Soho is in New York, and SoCo
It's in Maggie.
in California.
Maggie, Soco Valley. Maggie Valley. You remember when I said that? I live in a valley.
Maggie Valley.
Maggie Valley. Oh man.
This is my belt. I have to defend this belt at some point. You know, I told Morty, I'm not just gonna travel to Indiana just to defend the belt against any old person. Someone's gonna have to earn a shot at this belt. Christy, one of your employees texted you and asked if they can quit.
Oh yeah? What was
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Well, only if she takes me with her. Oh, I don't know if I like these.
Oh, that's stuff from the oddities convention.
That's This is only. Where's all the other ones?
Did you check on those shelves over there?
They're all together. I think this should just go right behind you. That empty space there.
Yeah. Now I've never been able to visit the real Annabelle the doll. It is in the Warren's Occult Museum, which has been closed for years now. They do sell tickets where you can have dinner with Annabelle the doll, but it's like $160 a person. So maybe someday. Yeah, I know it kills people. I think it's it's cursed that I know there's a story that someone that a biker came into the museum and was like made fun of the doll, and then he like got on his bike and like peeled out and had a bike accident and died. So those kind of things. It's a cursed item and it'll kill you if you taunt it. Yeah. The haunted dolls, yeah, they pop up quite a bit, in paranormal museums and things like that. You could actually, I think there's actually a whole industry on eBay of where you can buy haunted dolls. So you can get on there and get your own haunted doll, and it'll come to your house and ruin your life or whatever. I I've not done. As again, I haven't seen that many movies, so I don't do as movie sets as much as some other people do. I do know the Amityville house is still there. They got rid of the cool. They got rid of the cool windows though to make it less recognizable. No, I'm not really scared of ghosts, I guess. Yeah, I've been at. Well, I've never had a scary experience with a ghost. I consider the one paranormal experience I've had to be pretty stupid. So yeah, not really. Not had any terrifying experiences. Okay, so I just moved in. We just moved into this house that I live in now. It was the first night here. My wife made some pasta for dinner, and I was finishing off my dinner, and I looked down, and in noodles was my name, Jacob, written in my handwriting in noodles on the plate. Yeah, Chef Boyardee's a real person. Oh, I actually did do me and my friend Adam the Woo. We did a road trip across Texas, and did a lot of stops from the various Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and surprisingly, a large number of them are actually barbecue restaurants. Um, we s- we stayed the night at the gas station from the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. They serve barbecue. They cook the barbecue in the exact same room where they were cooking human bodies in the movie. I think it was based on various encounters. I got to hold that was a pretty cool, creepy experience. Was I went to a oddities shop, the White Raven Trading Company in Tombstone, Arizona, and a gentleman there that owned the place. He had in possession Ed Gein's Seath, like a farming tool. that could possibly have been used on human bodies at some point, and he let me hold it, and that was pretty cool. Strangest requests. A lot of people ask me to come to their house. That's kind of strange. Well, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, you need to come to my house. I got something to show you." Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally went there. Yeah. It was well, for one, they wouldn't let me film. I don't know. They're sensitive about that sort of thing. But yeah, it was. I really felt like they wanted me to become a Scientologist. I felt like that was the primary goal of this museum. Well, if if a place doesn't have any specific rules against filming, I'll usually just film. It's that old expression, better to ask permission. Better to beg.
Goodness.
Yeah, ask for permission rather than permission. It's 'cause some places you start asking questions about filming and they get all weird about it. But if you just do it, sometimes they'll just roll with it. Yeah, I've had it. There's quite some people don't like filming. It's I think there's kind of an outdated view that some places have that if people see it on the internet, then they won't want to come to the real museum, which I don't think really holds up. I mean, unless the museum is just really crappy and they don't want people to see what a piece of crap it is. Yeah, yeah. But this, yeah, I don't know. It's just some of them are real touchy about it. I have contacted some that have, for what sometimes I'll just ask. If they don't allow photography or video, I'll just ask, and surprisingly a large number of times they're just like, yeah, sure. So who knows? I always tell people like my videos are pretty raw. I mean, I don't they're not very polished, so a lot of times the bloopers are just right there in the videos because I didn't have the didn't couldn't be bothered to like edit it out. I think so. I think people. I think sometimes people do like seeing YouTube videos that are a little more raw. Everything on TV is pretty polished, and I think sometimes they can relate to stuff being a little grittier and more, just more raw. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I'm traveling like 5 hours to see something, I don't want to be like turned away at the door. So I do like to do my research to know if I'm going to be able to film, and if it is somewhere that I want to know, I do want to know if I'm going to be able to film before I dedicate an entire day to traveling somewhere. I'm actually, yeah, I've never been. I've only been to Mexico and Canada. Never been overseas. So I'm not sure. I've really put a lot of focus into America. I feel like that's the next level. I mean, I feel like I need to finish America first. I would like to at least have gone to all 48 states before I start venturing out too much. I have thought about maybe seeing every wax museum in the country because I'm not too far off from that. I don't know the number. I think as far as what I'm missing, there's one in Boston that I've not seen. There is a couple like really obscure ones like the gun. I think there's like the gunfighters. Um, what is that? Gunfighters Wax Museum in Kansas, and then there's the I think it's called the Witch's Dungeon Wax Museum that's only open like 8 days a year that I'm trying to coordinate. You don't see the cryptozoology costumes all that much, but yeah, I mean, haunted houses are a big deal down here. And that's one of my favorite things to do during the haunt season, if you will. And I like going to different types of haunted houses. You get the big budget haunted houses are pretty cool, and then you get ones that people make in their backyards as passion projects. It's cool seeing the different levels of haunted houses that are out there. Yeah, try to make trips count. I try to try to see what usually there'll be one or two things that I really want to see, and then I'll kind of research where I'll be going through, what kind of things are there, and kind of maximize my road trips because if I'm away from home, I want to all my spare time I want is to go making videos. I don't want to be sitting on a beach sipping drinks or anything. I want to be making videos. Now I get flack for saying this, but I prefer steel roller coasters, because okay. Let me put a little addendum onto that. I love the idea of wooden roller coasters. I think they're gorgeous structures, but they hurt your bones. Like to actually ride something like that, it is like oh my gosh, it is painful. There was a jarring. I mean, and they tell you like your ride on a wooden roller coaster can depend on different factors. Like if you ride it after it rains, it's going to be a different ride because the wood is expanded from the water. If it's been dry, it'll be a different type of ride. So you don't know what to expect. I rode the yeah, any moment could explode. I rode the Beast in Ohio at Cedar Point recently, and that it was it's 4 minutes long. Which, if you know anything about roller coaster, 4 minutes in roller coaster time is like 3 hours. It's yeah, an average roller coaster is like 2 minutes. So you're riding this. It was one of the roughest because it doesn't, it's just going on and on. It doesn't end, and it's so rough. Like I think I compared it with being put in a wooden box and thrown off the edge of a cliff. It's just that's about how comfortable it is. I have, but I didn't ride the Dipper when I was there. They wouldn't allow filming. A lot of times that'll depend on what roller coaster I'll ride is if I can get away with filming on it or not. Yeah, different parks have different rules. Some of them allow you to have a GoPro strapped to your body, but a lot of them are just no way on filming on the rides. Just because because idiots will drop a phone and hit someone in the face. Exactly what you said. It's this, people doing it the wrong way. Usually just try is their travel videos. They you'll see roadside attractions, museums, amusement parks, and just other just oddities and just random fun stuff. Yes. Well, they're actually they're made by and some people may be familiar with this name is they're made by Aaron Fechter. Aaron Fechter is basically the father of modern animatronics. He created the Rocket Fire Explosion, which was the original animatronic band at Showbiz Pizza. And he approached me. He wanted to make dolls in my image, and I agreed. I was honored that he would ask something of that from me. So he's the one. He's handling all the. It's a licensing deal. I've allowed him to use my image, and so he's handling all the sales. So yeah, if you're interested in the dolls, contact Aaron Fechter at Creative Engineering. You can look that up on the internet, and just shoot him an email and tell him that the Carpetbagger sent you. Yeah, I've seen the Richard Gere version. Uh, yeah, the Mothman Prophecies, starring Richard Gere, of all people. Uh, they have some of Richard Gere's clothing and whatnot at the Mothman Museum. It's in the '90s, sometime in the '90s. Okay, well yeah, first of all, the films don't do a really good job of explaining it, but the kind of the Mothman to me is like the holy grail of like the supernatural. He's a giant moth-like creature. He appears with glowing red eyes. He appears around the Point Pleasant, West Virginia area. Famous for appearing at the old dynamite factory that they had there, and but he's been known. Apparently, he forecasts traumatic events. He was spotted on the bridge that crosses over the Silver Bridge that crosses from West Virginia to Ohio. Was seen on the bridge days before the bridge collapsed, killing everyone that was driving on the bridge at the time. And there's a lot of speculation on where Mothman comes from. Is he benevolent? Is he evil? Is he a demon? Is he a ghost? Is he a Native American curse? Just a lot of different theories. The idea behind the Men in Black, the agents that show up at your house after a paranormal sighting, was originated with the Mothman sightings. The Carpetbagger. It kind of in the expanse of my channel, the view of my channel has kind of expanded. But originally, I traveled mostly in the southern United States. That was kind of my thing, and I am from the north. I grew up in northern Indiana, so the Carpetbagger is kind of an old Civil War era insult for Northerners who would come down to the south. Yes. Yeah. Hang on a second, Christy. They wanted you to say hi. Say hello. Not talking.
occasion. I haven't done any of the live streams with the call-ins in a long time, but I had intended to as it starts to get more fall, more cooler weather, and just kind of toward Halloween. That's when I like to do that. So it's kind of a more seasonal thing.
Fun.
But yeah, definitely going to do more. I vaguely remember, and I'm wondering if it was Peddling Prince that called in with that story, but I can't remember the whole thing. I've just heard so many stories and different, very interesting ones, but that one stands out a little bit in my memory. I just can't remember who it was. But yeah, I love the stories that they tell. I know that there had been some hospital stories and some different things like that that people have told that struck me. There's just been a lot of, you can tell when people are being sincere, and it's just kind of neat to hear their stories. That, oh, they're saying thank you.
Thank you. That'd be awesome. I got denied. I got denied trying to film there. I got denied trying to film at the Winchester House. They said nope. Hey, I'd love that. Thank you so much. I will. Thank you so much. Bye. You hanging up the cryptid
Do you
post?
think that story was Peddling Prince? I
Which
feel
one?
like it was.
I couldn't hear what
The
they were
story
saying.
about the uncle that he was talking about.
The uncle.
I only vaguely remember it. If anybody remembers, let me know.
Oh, I forgot I was live streaming still. Sorry. I'm glad I didn't say a bunch of racial slurs.
One day somebody's going to take you serious when you say that.
I don't say racial slurs. Right, Christy?
Right.
Okay. You know what, guys? I think for those of you that hung out here, I'm going to give you a little preview, a little something that's coming up.
Don't show this next.
I'm going to show them this. I bought this cabinet from someone, and I'm making my own cabinet of curiosities. There is the animals I purchased in Colorado. There's the Carpetbagger, and we got a little frog here with his bottle of whiskey. We got Krampus mouse, the two-headed mouse there. Got that. A voodoo doll. There is these jars of fun made by the Rebel Son, Tyler Garrison. So I'm gonna be working on that. And hopefully have my own little Minnesota State Fair is just a month away. Gonna have my own cabinet of curiosities. When is the Minnesota State Fair? Someone say. Thank you. Appreciate you guys joining me and listening to me on the radio there. But I will see you guys soon. But for now, and thank you, Jeff Shutters. Thank you for calling in. This one's in the bag.